Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Dinks with Kinks. Before we get into tonight's episode, I want to remind everyone that we are in fact on that social media at Dinks with Kinks, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Reach out to us, tell us what you think, and if you're listening to us, tell a friend. I am your host, John Dondero, and with me, as always, the very beautiful, the very stunning, the almost alluring Miss Rebecca.
Hello, everyone.
And a man who's finally starting to learn how to take a compliment because he knows I'm going to give it to him whether he likes it or not, Mr. Shep.
Who's learning what? Also, good evening.
You thought I was going to talk about you. You were like, he thinks I'm pretty.
No.
How are you guys doing this week?
Good. I'm really busy at work. But I have actually been educating one of my coworkers about the kink community, and like she learns new stuff every day, and we're like, okay, well, this is that, and she's like, I had no idea. And I was like, yeah, it's out there. She goes, I must be boring. I was like, no, it's just because you don't know doesn't mean you're boring. It just means you just don't know, and now you have something to explore. So
every time somebody asks what I do and I tell them I'm on this podcast, that begins a very long conversation about kink, where they ask me 1,001 questions, and I'm just like, there's a whole podcast for it. Honestly, just go listen to it. Yeah, Tell your friends. Everybody talks about sex. People say they don't, but they do. Everybody talks about it. It's sitting on everyone's face, just ready to go, and you want to talk about it. It doesn't have to be a smothering topic. It could be a freeing topic.
It can. Sometimes it hovers. Sometimes it hovers right there, but eventually, it lands.
But I like it when it grinds in and really just pushes its force in there.
That's true. Until you get nipped in the bud.
Ooh, little nibble here and there. There you go. If you guys can't tell from our puns, we are in fact talking about our topic tonight. Face sitting and face smothering with your genitals or rectum. Damn near killed them.
Oh.
Oh, that's a hard one. So, I've got a lot to say about this kink, but I want to know, is this something y'all were familiar with?
Very, very much so. I am very familiar with face sitting and such.
Yep. You ever been asked to clean off your seat and they wipe your face?
I have been asked. Oh, sorry. Was it Shep? I have been asked that. They're like, "Hey," I'm like, I remember I'm bi.
Yeah. Let me clean off a chair for you. Please, wash my face.
Shep.
What about you, Mr. Shep?
I mean, who coined the phrase smother taco?
You right. From the beginning, Shep's been all about some sitting.
With this kink, I actually have this kink. I rather enjoy having someone sit on my face. As I like to put it, drown me, baby. I want to be drowned. That's a great way to go. But this kink is all about, it's essentially that. Sitting on somebody's face, either for the use of oral sexual pleasure or domination or, just degradation. And we're gonna kind of cover all of these topics tonight. And, like I said, a lot of people go, well, this is not a kink. And I'm like, well, it's absolutely a kink. Get out of here, naysayers. Yeah. Get out of here with your Puritan values. This is absolutely a kink. It's not just foreplay.
Yeah, I thought it was just world domination, one sitting at a time.
I mean, listen, a lot of people would be a lot less angry if someone just sat on their face for a couple hours. I know I would. So,
I don't face sitting is very controversial. I think a little bit, especially as a female, especially with like the body issues, because like I am not a tiny girl. I'm not like large, but I'm not tiny either. And I get very nervous about it. Like I get very concerned, like about actually sitting on someone's face. Now I've done it, but I get very concerned that like I'm too much or I'm too large. I'm not a size 2.
You're not a size 2, but you're also not a size 8. You're pretty, you're not on that scale of where I think you have to live in that controversial area by any stretch of the mean.
And I'm bigger than a size 8.
Well, see, the thing is, though...
I don't know. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I don't know sizes.
The thing is, though,
yeah,
you shouldn't be self-conscious about this, because if someone is asking you to do said thing, then I'm sure they've already analyzed and ascertained all the possibilities, and their brain said green light, let's do this.
Options. They weighed their options.
Oh, if you think for a hot minute, I don't, when I ask my partner to do this, I don't calculate what are the odds this is going to hurt me. And most of the time it's like, no, I think I'll be all right.
Yeah, am I in the right angle so my nose can still be a snorkel?
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, there are safe ways, and we're going to talk about safe ways to do this regardless of your size. And this is going to be like, because this doesn't have to be something that you have to be a size 2 or a size 8. I honestly don't know sizes. So is that big or is that little?
You shouldn't ask. You should just stop at not asking what's big and what's little.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say I wear a medium.
That's what number I'm medium. Is.
Yeah. So anyway, but we're gonna tell you guys how to do this safely. It doesn't matter the size, because this actually, when you talk about controversial, this is actually very popular in the BBW community. Like people who are fans of BBW, which are big, beautiful women who should all be celebrated. They're all about that base, and so are we. And so there is absolutely safe ways to go about this, and a lot of it's all has to do with, especially with this, submission. And typically, the person being sat on is the submitter, and the other person being the dominant person sitting. I didn't think we'd have to explain that, but yet here we are.
Well, that makes sense. But then there are ways you can sit on somebody's face and the person on the bottom is very dominant, though. The way they grab you.
Absolutely.
And hold on to you.
Well, I mean, then it goes lies, why are you sitting on a face? Is it just for oral sexual pleasure? Is it to wear you like a face mask because it's 2020 and your vagina does not have COVID?
Oh my God. What the... Those are some powerful thighs, is all I gotta say.
They say I need to mask up before I go out.
Fair.
I want to use your thighs as a mask. So, but yeah, when it comes to submitting, it is absolutely like a form of submission to be somebody's furniture almost. We're not quite into human furniture where I am unable to move. I am expected not to react. You want me to struggle and fight. And by fight, I mean lick for like it depends if I get to the center of that Tootsie Roll Pop.
I mean, there's also another scenario here. Not just sub. There could be what they coin as the lazy dom. He don't want to work. He wants it to come to him or her or them or whatever. It's like you get on top. That's not submitting. That's like lazy dom. You come here.
I can absolutely get that, and I do want to cover because this can be a very dominating thing, like Miss Rebecca said, depending on how they grip and what the purpose of it is. But with the submission, this very much covers into almost a suffocation level like, I want you to asphyxiate me with your genitals, or if you are a male, your balls and anus. Or
female.
Female and also
Analingus.
anus.
Yeah.
Analingus.
Yeah.
I want you to smother me with your love.
Mm-hmm.
I approve that message. I'm Rebecca, and I approve that message. I want to drown in it.
I said that. That's literally what I said.
But not for hours, though,
drown.
because I don't want to come up with this prune face afterwards, you know?
Yeah, I wonder, do you get prune face?
Yes. If you do it right.
Okay, well, all right. Fair enough.
So, in this form of submission, it is almost like, suffocation. And we've talked about breath play before, and we've talked about human furniture. This is kind of like a very primal thing of I'm going to sit on your face. It's very popular in wrestling fetish. Fart fetish, believe it or not, is very popular. Which, sneak peek of season 3, that will be on the wheel, and we are going to be talking about farts. It's going to be great.
Sounds like a very gaseous ride.
Oh, yeah. And so, the partner wants to control their person, and typically they will pin their arms underneath their knees and sit on them. Now, of course, it's really hard to use a safe word in that situation, so that's where the all-important double tap comes in handy. Little slap on the thigh, knee, or wherever
Rule
your
1
fingers
cardio.
Rule 1 cardio. Rule 2 double tap.
Mm-hmm.
Or your safe word can be your motorboat.
Actually, I feel like a lack of motorboat would be a good sign you need to get off.
I don't know. I feel like somebody motorboated me down there. I'd be like, all right, I'm done. All right, fine.
See?
Okay.
There you go. Precise.
All right.
Listen, some of us can't help ourselves. No matter where we're at, we must be motorboating. The code of life, always be motorboating.
No.
A, B, M, B. A, M, B. A, B, M, B. Always be motorboating. Also, with taking a very dominant role, would be, your dom pulls you on top. Shep, why don't you talk about how that would go down for a hot minute? I don't want to be the only person talking on the podcast.
Well, I mean, let me think for the good scenarios. You can have a submissive that is on the shy side or the timid side about their bodies or just sensation altogether. And that's where I see it, like the most basic example, to where you have to be the dom to kind of force them out of the timid feeling. Like Rebecca said, some people aren't all that body positive, so they're like, I don't know this, and that's where you have to help break them past those walls or those unfounded fears, and pull them on and show them that all their fears and concerns are unfounded.
Absolutely. I think it could be very, especially if you have a weight image problem, especially with yourself. Because, most of the time your partner does not. This is a very liberating experience because you are sitting on somebody, not just any part of them. You're not just sitting on their lap where their legs are meant to take the brunt of it. You're sitting on their face.
But Rug's is right.
Fragile zone.
Oh, yes. Sorry. But yeah, Rug's right though. She has quite a weight image. People can't wait to see the images of her.
I agree.
Well, you say it's very liberating, and yes, it can be, but for somebody like me who does suffer from body image issues, it can be, for the first couple of times that you try it, or even I've done it several times, and even to this day, I feel so self-conscious because I'm all hanging out there, and I'm like, there he is.
Well,
at least At least when he's laying down and he's down there, like I'm laying up and like
Yeah. This is very much I opened Snapchat accidentally while I was, surfing Reddit. So you get that like look down, you just thing, but you're holding the phone at your crotch, and that's what's happening. So you get to see everything. And if you're, doing the full nude, you see everything, and that's what your partner's seeing. So it is very, I can understand how that could be completely self-conscious, like just anxiety driven, because usually the up angle is not the most appealing factor. At least that's when I want to send somebody a very sexual picture, I do put the phone on my chest straight up so they can see all my nose hair.
Hot. Yeah. That's hot.
And then look down at it so my neck does that thing it does, and it gets a little googly, and I'm like, oh. So this could be very terrifying, not just because you think you're actually going to cause bodily harm. It's just, it can be a very unflattering place to have somebody's eyes at.
Right. And a lot of people do have the fear because there's the whole on King Talk, because I love the tickety talks. There's like this whole, they make these videos about men who are like, no, I want you to sit on my face. I don't want you to hover, because I may hover. I don't want to, like, I am very afraid of putting my weight.
Are you a hover?
I am a hover. I support my weight on my knees. I don't go, I am very, but there are some men who are like, no, I want to die.
Cover thing. Put the little protective cover over thing and just sit on it, okay? They have them in every bathroom. Don't be weird about it. Just put your ass down on the seat. God, that's how you get pee everywhere.
But you gotta be careful though with those scenarios, because your partner could turn around on you. They look up at you, it's like, don't you trust me? Ooh.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Well, yeah. I trust you. I don't trust myself. I might break your nose. I'm clumsy.
And like I said, I think you don't actually have to have a weight issue to worry about that. People worry about hurting people in general. I've been with partners who weighed literally a strong breeze would blow them off into the distance, and they still worry because they are still sitting on a very fragile surface, your face. So I can completely understand that. But yeah, that's honestly how you do it. All the power comes from the knee. You're not actually resting on somebody's face. We do not encourage resting somebody's body weight on the neck muscles of any individual, because again, you could weigh 75 pounds and that could still injure somebody. So, but you can spread those knees apart and get a little lower, little lower, little lower. And if your partner is doing a good job, he is holding you up to a degree. That's what the partner on the bottom should be doing, is bracing you with their forearms and the arms. If you're really face sitting, you put the person on the bottom puts their hands on their chest, outward facing like that. They sit down, and then you lift. You have the control. The person on the bottom should have the control to be able to lift that person off, or at least enough to give them some air.
Yeah. With all this talk and concerns and safety and everything else, I think I've come up with a product that we should create and put out there.
Is it the Vaz Jack? Because I kind of want to invent the Vaz Jack.
No. This was going to be the face-sitting safety snorkel.
Face-sitting safety snorkel.
It's almost like the mini version of the snorkel, little tube just
made out of
face.
straws.
Yeah.
All right.
Or like the nose straws, like on the still suit of Dune, something like that. Little wrap around. Yeah,
that will probably save some lives. I'm gonna tell a story.
And take away some concerns of some tops.
Yeah. I was with a partner, and this is the first time I've ever experienced it. The first time I ever experienced face sitting, and my partner was into it, and I was like, I don't know. And she was like, no, I want to sit on your face. I want to smush my junk into your face, and I want you to fight for your life. And I was like, well, that doesn't sound fun at all. But okay, let's do this. I mean, I didn't say I'm fun at all. And at the time, I'm just like, I get to see your genitals? Yes, please. And I experienced it, and it is very jarring because this person was voluptuous. I'll say
Voluptuous.
Voluptuous. I can say
Full
that
figured.
word. I got it. Full figured. And a wonderful person. And I gotta say, that moment I was a fan because, like I said, I had my hands wrapped around them, and they were going to kill me. I believe in my soul of souls, their goal was to snuff me out. And I gotta say, I wasn't mad about it.
I think that the visual aesthetic, like when I watch porn of face sitting, I think the visual aesthetic is very hot. It's just when the roles are reversed and I'm the visual aesthetic, that's where it becomes different. But I find the visual aesthetic of it very, very hot, and it's a very, I don't know. It's just, there's something about it. It's different. It hits different.
It is. It hits different, and I gotta say, I'm a fan of it. I like because it is almost primal because your body wants to fight drowning, suffocation, all of that. So you start panicking, but if you do a good job, they're going to ride harder. But you don't want to do a bad job because you want to perform. So you have all these different emotions running through your head at the same time. That I have to keep myself alive. I have to do a good job at what I'm doing, and I have to do it quick enough that I don't suffocate.
And I have to practice humming my ABCs.
I feel like this is a good position for analingus. I think, like, I would prefer to be sitting on somebody's face doing analingus than my ass up in the air. Like, I feel like that's like, I don't know. Like,
You want to bury it deep instead of air it out?
yeah, like I don't hold my ass up. I don't know. I feel like my ass up in the air, but I mean my ass up in the air is
Head
great.
down, ass up. That's how we like to do our analingus.
And see how bad that flowed right there. Yeah, no.
But I feel like it, like just eating that ass. That'd be a great way to eat that ass.
Yeah, and that is very popular in this like subculture, and it's very taboo. It's like eat my ass, but I'm gonna sit on you while you do it. And I like that. That really where like almost the degradation side comes down. And it's typically that it's you are beneath me. You are nothing more to me than a toy, a object to sit on, a Sibian toy that I'm going to ride with either my ass or my genitals, whichever gender you are. And I don't care of your well-being. Just do the job or you're gonna die. I kind of find it erotic.
Or you can be like,
throw that
you
out
are
there.
nothing to me than a salad bowl, and I'm gonna toss that salad.
Use use all of the parts that are down there from front to back. Use them all. While they're down there.
Well, honestly, I picture it like this. You ever see those soft serve ice cream machines? Now tell me you wouldn't want to lay underneath one and just turn the faucet on and be like, ice cream!
That would be a different fetish. Turn the faucet on and things just come out in your face. No, it's different.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's talking about the swirl, though.
I mean,
Swirl.
the booty can make some swirls, I'm just saying.
You were laying underneath. I'm not talking about poo, Shep. This is not a poo topic.
Well, you're talking about laying under something
about...
and a solid mass from flowing out. Yes, you were.
Yeah.
Yes,
The solid mass being the partner.
Fair.
I want to drown in ice cream. I want to drown in my partner. Not just her fluids, but her body. Like, I want to get lost in it. Like,
I mean, he said that quite a few times. He really wants to drown in his partner.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, and I'm a water sign. And he's out
I'm
one
not, honestly, I'm not into breath play. I am not into autoerotic asphyxiation. I am not even into usually being degraded. I'm usually the dom in this situation, but there's just something about this particular, and that's how I know it can be just a kink on its own. Because I'm real into this.
Not into breath play or asphyxiation? Safety snorkel for you. Bye now.
No, but that's kind of it. I'm kind of into that idea of that being the breath play. Like, if you were like any other situation, you're like, I want to choke you till you can't breathe, or I want to like put a bag over your head or something to cut off your airway. I'll be like, hell no. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just not for me. I'm just like, that's not going to do anything for me. But if you're going to sit on my face and derive actual pleasure, like me pleasing you, with the fact that you are also suffocating me, you are using me until I don't move anymore. And I know a partner actually wouldn't do that, but there's something so erotic about that.
And then the one that goes south quick. I'm gonna sit on your face. I'm gonna fart in your mouth. What?
Stay tuned for season 3. We're talking about farts. I'm genuinely actually excited about that episode because I want to see how long we can go before we make a fart joke. Like, that's the one episode.
Like,
I don't want to make any jokes.
2 seconds.
No, I want to see like if we can go the entire episode without making a single fart joke. Anyway,
I feel though like face sitting is also when like a male can sit on a female's face. Like they a lot of times, yes, it's dominated by women sitting on their partner's face, but like I enjoy giving oral on the balls and in between and anal, like that. All that stuff is good from that angle. Like, so getting under there, so him being straddling your face is a good way to get in there, as males. So don't think it's just a female like straddling somebody's face. Males, why don't you try it too? Just give it a try.
All right, Shep. Let me ask you a question.
No.
Would you sit on somebody's face?
That's an unknown territory. I guess I'd be willing to attempt a little bit.
All right. That's a surprisingly good answer. I expected you to.
See how I said that? Surprisingly good answer, because Shep doesn't give good answers. That was surprisingly good from you, Shep.
No, I just figured you would have a very solid opinion of it. You would either be like, yes, I would do this, or there's no way. But you're kind of like, I haven't experienced it before, so I would try it. I would not.
You would not? That's interesting.
Ooh.
Why not?
I would not. I am not a fan of analingus, especially receiving, because I know what fucked up shit has gone on back there.
Well, what about balls? Like, if it's not even analingus, what about just your testicles in the balls in that area?
Honestly, I don't derive a lot of pleasure from my testicles either.
Interesting.
That's the thing. Like, they are not pleasure centers.
Too many balls on the skateboard? Is that it?
Yeah. One too many taps.
I do feel like, though, John, you would gain pleasure from the visual of the perfect little ball chin rest going on.
Oh yeah, but not sexual pleasure. I have rested my testicles on many a person's face, never in a sexual manner though.
I mean, how many times?
One of our coworkers from the BSBN, Jay, I've rested my testicles on his face multitude of times, usually while he was asleep, and but we'll discuss that on a different podcast.
And sometimes the facial can be just a little dip, or the tea bag.
A little bit of tea bagging.
Just a little.
I do love a good serving of tea. So, but all right. So, how do you do this safely? And I told you we would talk about this near the end of this podcast. The one thing people don't realize is that weight doesn't play a factor into it. Outside of the visual aspects, and like I said, I understand the self-consciousness when it comes to that. But in reality, when you're with a partner, the person on top is in control. unless that person's head is massive that you're sitting on, your knees will hit the ground before they suffocate.
Yes, so it is all about just knowing the safe angle that works for that specific head and person, to how you kneel down, where you're supporting your weight and distributing it evenly. Yes.
Absolutely. Unless you're doing it to Charlie Brown, then other precautions need to be made, because that dude's head is around. Super big head. So the way I would recommend doing it, and this is recommended, official way of doing it, is lay on a smaller pillow. And I would say a orthopedic pillow works really good, because it has just enough give for your knees to go lower, but the head to also be scrunched back up. So they have some give on the back of their head. If you apply force, you're not going to be applying a force pressure to the neck. Their head will actually sink down. You're not just resting on their neck muscles. Mr. Massage Therapist, would you concur?
Yes, because it's not just the muscles. Depending on the angle, you could hit a major artery and cut off not just airflow, but blood circulation, which will affect you much quicker and in much more diverse ways.
Yes, causing stroke and things like that.
Yes.
So place your knees firmly down, and then how to lower yourself on there, of course, would be spreading your legs. And as your legs spread, I don't have to explain basic geometry. That's also on a different podcast. I'm pretty sure some lady named Aroogs teaches it. You spread your knees apart, which will lower your torso down on them. And then that way your partner can actually control it. If your partner keeps their hands on the outside of your knees, if you're not sitting on them, I do not recommend doing that until you become very accustomed to it. You can do that, but not for the first time. Have your partner put their hands on the outside of your knees, and if their hands let loose, follow. If their hands stop or start to move in, start closing your legs. It's a great way to let your, if you're on the bottom, it's a great way to let your partner know that you are okay. That you want them to come lower or you want them to go higher. So it would alleviate some of the stress of, am I putting too much weight down there? Am I hurting this person? You're putting the control back into the sub, which you need good Dom-sub relationship. All the power lies with the sub anyway.
I usually, whenever I have done face sitting, I usually there's a headboard of some sort involved, and I straddle their face and I use the headboard as I hold myself up, or I lower myself that way. That way they have I'm basically holding myself up, and then they have control on my hips or my legs, and then they pull down or up as like a spring almost. They're controlling that in that way. That's usually the technique I do usually.
And I think that's a fantastic technique. Like I said, there are wrong ways to do it, but there's no.
You're only
one
doing
right
it because you're feeling a little insecure about your body. Then I'd be like,
there's
let
that
it
too.
go,
But you know what?
let it go.
It's getting done. What I'm sitting there. What do you want from me?
Your trust.
It is also a matter of
Your
safety,
trust.
and like I said, absolutely take every precaution you can, and let your partner let the person being sat on kind of guide how that's going, at least the first couple times. Now, once you both get into a very comfortable zone and you have your safety tap outs and everything planned out, then you can get a little wild with it. And I highly suggest it. Just still make sure you watch the angle of your neck. Make sure you're not closing off any blood vessels or sitting on any bone wrong, because, like I said, the fragile thing here is actually your neck, not so much your face. Broken noses heal, but neck injuries are a lifetime.
That is correct. And also, another way of communicating, if you're talented with the eye raising, you can do your eyebrow dance. One eyebrow raise for yes, and two jumping for no.
Wiggle your nose.
Block it out.
Wiggle your nose for all the pleasure.
Bewitched.
Bewitched.
I'm making so much magic right now. All right.
Yes.
That
And
covers
then-
face sitting. I think. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was like, and maybe a good way to tell your partner that you are interested in such things, because you know how they have those like little micro hats that you can put on your head and stuff.
Mhm.
We're all aware of that, yes. All right, so imagine just giving your partner a cowboy hat, and then having a little mini saddle on your head.
Ooh. Oh man.
I mean, I think that'd be an adorable way to say, "Hey, would you?" Because I want you to.
Yeah, I think that we could do a whole episode on just the attachments you could have and all the fun you can have. But
yeah.
we ain't got the time for that. We got to spin our wheel. We have 5 left on our wheel, and I think about 15 left in our season.
Oh wow!
Hey.
Yeah. I mean, I could be mathing wrong there, but
It's been known to happen.
I
spin the
don't.
whil and see what we're talking about. But
Yay!
I think
Roll that
face-sitting
beautiful beam
was
footage.
really
I mean, wheel,
fun.
whatever. Yeah.
And you know, when you're applying pressure to the face, there's other things to know. Sometimes you want to pump your body. Almost use your torso as your foot and their face as a pedal, and kind of rev up that engine a little bit.
Nice.
And
Vroom, vroom.
absolutely do something like that. Vroom, 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 vroom.
Oh yeah, I was kind of thinking about that too. When they're sitting on your face, you just grab their chest, like gear chest.
Changes gears. And if you ever get stuck, you can, like I said, you can pump that pedal a little bit and just kind of rev it in there. And since neither one of them know what I'm talking about, next week we will in fact be covering pedal pumping. Y'all didn't even know that was a kink, did you?
No. I was like, what?
I mean,
Oh,
I know I have a gear shift. Where's my
absolutely.
pedal?
No, this is a fetish typically done with females in high heel shoes, which is funny because we have shoes still on the fetish wheel, or their bare feet, pumping a gas pedal, revving the engine, trying to get their car unstuck. We're going to be covering that. That is actually a very popular fetish. I've seen it many times. I've actually filmed some of that stuff before. So when I was a fetish producer. So next week, yeah, we're going to be talking about pedal pumping. And
Well, I
love
have
that
some
both of them were
research to do.
What?
I know. I'm like,
No,
I-
fine.
Currently have 3 pedal pumping videos on my computer right now that I did not make, that somebody sent me because they were hot. And I'm like, I get it. And I'm not even into the pedal pumping kink. It had another mixture of kinks I enjoyed. So
gotcha.
we're going to be
Gotcha.
talking all about that next week. I am your host, John Dondero, and with me, as always, the world's best seat, Mr. Shep.
Till next time.
And a woman we are, in fact, all waiting to see, Miss Rebecca. wait to
Good
be
evening,
seated.
everyone. Please wait to be seated. Got it.
And follow us on that social media at Dinks with Kings. And you know what? If you're listening to this podcast, give it a rating. You know, especially if you're listening to like Spotify or Google or Apple, hit the stars. You hit the little star thing and be like, hey, this is worth this many stars. It really helps us out. It helps spread the podcast. It puts us in an analytics. So if you listen to this podcast, please share it. Spread the word. We want to grow. We want to build our community. And if you really want to come and get more content from us, every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, we do a live stream talking about kink in general on twitch.tv/The Dondero. Come see us every week. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And if we get all the more people, the follows and the likes, we will have a follow-up episode with PowerPoints and everything showing you how to best spread your legs and mount the face.
Could we do that? Could we like make the geometry of it? Oh, that'd be a lot of fun.
I mean, can we? Well, we will. If they do the thing.
If they do the
thing.
thing. Do the thing. Good night, everybody.